Next up, 1 p.m. Eastern, Houston Texans 1-12-1, 1-6 on the road. At the Tennessee Titans, 7-7, 3-3 at home at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Cold. Not as cold as it looked like it was going to be, but 18 Fahrenheit in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, doesn't get that cold there. Troy Torrance says, ride the teaser. Troy, there's a couple things that I don't do, as you've seen, and I keep everything black and white. I stay away from teasers. I stay away from player props. Do what works for you. I'm past the point of experimenting. I'm
because you're old.
I am, and I just want to fucking win so goddamn badly.
That's true.
Texans come in off an impressive 30-24 overtime loss at home to the Chiefs. They played the Cowboys and the Chiefs back-to-back weeks, real tough. Dennis said that the Texans plus 14 or even 14.5 was just a no-brainer. He's like, come, it's just and he was bang on. I can't wait to talk about the Chiefs, so I'm going to save some of that rhetoric for the Chiefs game, but they've lost 9 in a row, though. Davis Mills was 12 of 24 for 121 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He also ran 5 times for 21 yards, touchdown, and lost a crucial fumble in overtime. Chris Moore caught 4 passes for 42 yards. Royce Freeman ran 11 times for 51 yards. Their offense put up 219 yards on 3.8 yards per play. They got to overtime with the Chiefs despite being outgained 502 to 219. The defense bent but didn't break, finished with 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits. Titans come off a tough 17-14 loss at the Chargers. They've now lost 4 straight for the first time since 2015. They have just a 1-game lead on the Jaguars in the AFC South, 7-7 going to the 4th. Other than Derrick Henry, the offense looked bad. Tannehill was 15-22 for 165 yards and a pick. He hurt his ankle on their first drive, but he only missed 1 possession. The ankle's clearly still bothering him. It's been bothering him for weeks now. Henry ran 21 times for 104 yards and a touchdown, caught 4 for 59. Okonkwo caught 4 for 59. They put up 284 total yards, went 3 of 11 for third down. Defensively, they held the Chargers to 4 of 13 on third down. They're a really good defense, and imagine what they would be if they weren't dealing with all these injuries. They finished with 3 sacks and 8 quarterback hits. You probably saw Bud Dupree try and give it a go. I mean, it's just not looking good out there for him. He's not healthy. They got interceptions from Kevin Byard and Joshua Kalu. They added more injuries. They lose Terrence Mitchell to a hamstring injury. Their cornerback, Dylan Randuns, they lose to a knee injury in the second quarter. I couldn't get an update on him. The cornerback, Josh Thompson, is in concussion protocol. So they're just they're banged up. They're beaten up squad, and it's too late in the year to get healthy. At this time in the year, you don't, we're going to get healthy, but no, you're in big trouble. Is the situation.
You're at where you're at.
Yeah. So let's just go do a quick look at the line history here. The Titans opened up at -7.5 at Pinnacle. That's dropped all the way to 5.5. You could have got them at 7.5 this morning. Not really. You could have got them at 7 this morning. You could have got them at 6.5 at plus money at this morning. And it just kept moving towards the Texans. So we have 5.5 now. This total opened up at 40.5. It's dropped all the way to 37. I don't see a world where the Titans can put up points, even though they are good in the red zone. When we take a look at the cash, they have given some slight line value towards the Texans. 5,627 tickets in, 59% of the tickets, 76% of the cash is on the Texans, and then 55% of tickets and 86% of cash is on the under, and we've seen it drop quickly. Take it away for us here, Andy. Texans, Titans.
Yeah, no interest in betting this game. One team is injured in basically all over the field, especially on the defense. I know we saw the Chargers not be able to take care of that or take advantage of that, but boy, it just feels like the team that puts together the right game plan against this Tennessee secondary could just light them up no matter how bad this team is. And the Texans are a bad team and a bad roster with a bad quarterback, but they're playing tough because, organizations tank, but teams don't tank. We've talked about this. Players don't tank. It's how you get injured. That's how you fuck up your contracts for years down the road. Everybody in this team is sort of playing hard. It's it's been evidence the last couple of weeks where they've been huge favorites. I can't go take them +5 when they're, the market has moved, the market's spoken. That move makes sense against a Tennessee team that's become really one-dimensional on offense and really, really just like banged up. It's a mash unit on this defense. And if we have quarterback issues again, like it's looking like, This move makes sense. So no move for me here. I will just kind of talk about the there's almost no scenario other than just like Tennessee winning all their games and Jacksonville losing them all. There's almost like no scenario where the Tennessee Jacksonville game isn't a winner take all game. Because it doesn't matter if one team's leading by one game or the other team's leading by one game. It turns into whoever wins this game is going to win all the tiebreakers and win the AFC South, which is ugly. And I've seen people make cases for Doug Peterson to be coach of the year, which feels just silly. Like, he's done a good job, but you're rewarding a guy for Tennessee getting a bunch of injuries and sucking and you being a 500 team. It's probably not going to happen. I'd love to see, and truthfully, like, I would love to see this go to, I'd love to see this go to the Texans, see them get one done, but Christ's sakes, like, it's a tough hill. Like, when this team is continually, their two best wide receivers are always on the injury report all week long. You're never knowing if you're getting both of them in. So I'm not betting on either of these teams right now. Tennessee's too injured. Houston's too, shitty. Are you excited to bet on the Houston Texans when we've been getting huge numbers on them? Now we have to take a dead number on the 5.
Do you think that the Texans, coming off 2 very strong games, indoors, they're now going to go play the Titans in 18 Fahrenheit weather, a situation where Derrick Henry can completely dominate a football game? Do you think that this could get to a point? Like, at what point do you feel like the Titans are live at this number? And at what point do you think that what happened the last couple of weeks against the Texans isn't a legitimate example of where they are as a football team?
If this keeps moving and we get some good news, I'd bet Tennessee at 4. But it's just kind of in a dead zone where I don't see value on either team right now.
Troy Torrance says
it is a good spot for Derrick Henry. I know he kind of hit a wall last year. Obviously, we had the injury. He's past the spot last year where he got injured. He's really starting to get up there in career touches. I worry about him. As I mentioned, we've seen a couple other running backs start to hit a bit of a wall, especially Saquon. It's just, I know he had a nice game. He really kind of carried them in the fourth quarter when they needed him. But some of these guys that start hitting that 300 touch mark, it's like, boy, it's a grind for these running backs. Yeah, if it keeps going, I will have Tennessee if it's a 4.
Sky Dragon got in on Tennessee -5. O+, saying Titans are due for a good game. This is the spot. Maintain the lead in the division. After capping this together, I'm starting to think that this is a good spot for the Titans. I need to do a double check on their health because it's horrible. See if anybody can come back, because Dupree came back. It didn't look good with Dupree coming back last week. So I'm going to...
No, he didn't look like it looked like it was too early.
Yeah, it was a mistake. But in saying that, Texans had 2 very good games against teams that were overlooking them inside.
And maybe that's where I don't mind this Tennessee bet. Again, if we can get down to 4, it's not a team that's going to overlook some, like Dallas. Hey, it's a non-conference opponent. It's a team you don't play that often. There's no rivalry because they're both from Texas. It was a complete overlooked spot for them. We've had it a couple weeks in a row, whereas Tennessee is a divisional opponent who's played this team 2 times a year for many, many years now. So it doesn't feel like you'll have that overlook component. Plus, they are drowning right now. They are watching this division slip away. A division, mid-season, it looked like, well, all the other teams stink and you're just good enough. So, yeah, if they know what's good for them, they put together a good run scheme. Derrick Henry just kind of trucks. They stay effective in the red zone, and they win this game by like 10. So, pretty adamant that I'm going to watch this market and either enter on Tennessee if it keeps going Texans way. Which, if you take Texans +7, good. That was a fine move. That was probably a bit too much.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And if you got in at the 7.5, 7, yeah, I agree. But this game means a ton to the Titans. I think you nailed it with the the Dallas situation and Kansas City situation indoors. This is now very, very much on my radar for the Titans. Birdie says no rush here. Money won't stop till 4. This is the opposite of what the Dolphins did in a 3-week period. They looked atrocious. Back-to-back spots. They looked so bad against the Niners. And then they looked so bad against the Chargers. And then they again look like an elite football team against the Bills. The opposite could be here. You get the Dolphins in a divisional matchup and they step up. And so very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Titans are heavily on my radar now. I will not be betting them tonight, though. And not sure.
Now, I might have to settle for a 4.5, but I just don't see it coming back the other way right now. So like Birdie said, you can just kind of wait on this. You don't need to bet it. You don't need to bet everything on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
there's plenty of markets that are worth monitoring and making some action later in the week.
Fun, and then getting a better idea on the health of the Titans defense.
Yeah, I do love a good Wednesday afternoon injury report on especially a team that's in their situation.
That's fun. Okay, that was a much funner game than I had imagined.